Hi guys, so here Murray here, co-founder of Sublime Trading, here with your daily update for the UK and US indices for Thursday the 30th of April. Okay guys, hope you're well. If you're new to these daily updates, then I recommend starting with the recording that's pinned to the top of our Facebook page so you get a very good understanding of what I go through in these daily updates. Okay, so as always, this is our 3-screen setup, monthly in the top left, weekly in the top right, and our daily chart down here across the bottom. Starting with the FTSE 100, you can see price has found support at the low of February 2016. This has given way to a bullish month in April. Of course, we want to see how today ends to confirm how bullish the month does end, or whether it does even end bullish. Of course, the market does what the market does after all, but currently we are seeing a bullish end to April. A little bit of a wick at the top, so potentially bearish action towards the end of this month, or at the end of this month, but for now we are seeing bullishness. If we move across to the weekly time frame, price is below the 200 moving average and the 50 simple moving average. We can see this pullback that price has been in, and we can see that this week so far is a strong week so far for the bulls. And we can see that in more detail on the daily time frame. Price is below the 200 moving average, but it's now above the 50 simple moving average, with a strong day yesterday for the bulls. A little bit of bearishness coming in so far today, being Thursday, but also we can see prices above the 20 simple moving average, as well as the 6,000 round number. So multiple areas of support now below price. What we're looking for is price to move back to the 200 simple moving average. So it'll be interesting to see whether we do see a continuation to the upside, or whether this is a fake out and we see weakness back. If we get a break and a close below the low of March, then that will be a sign of a continuation to the downside. If price remains between these levels, particularly the 200 moving average and the low of March, then this is just an area of consolidation. What we really want to see is price move through the 200 moving average and back to the all-time high. Okay, moving into the US indices, starting with the Dow Jones, we can see that April continues to be a strong month for the bulls, so it'll be interesting to see where price ends in relation to the high, whether we do get a new high for the month of April, or whether we see a bit of bearishness towards at the end of this month, today being the last day of April. If we look at the percentage rise to the upside, we are looking at a rise of around 20%, so almost 20% in the month of April. So we should see something similar on the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. If you move across to the weekly time frame, we can see that price is above the 200 moving average. We've also had a strong move up for the bulls with a bounce off the 200 moving average. That's taken price above the previous high of April. So again, we are seeing new highs in April. Potentially this is a sign of strength back to the 50 simple moving average. If we come down to the daily time frame, we can see that price is below the 200 moving average on the daily, but above the 50, above the 20 simple moving averages. And also we had a gap up yesterday and a bullish day for the bear. So this bull revival seems to be continuing, and we could potentially see strength back to the 200 moving average. If the 200 moving average is cleared, then we are very much in bullish territory. If we move across to the S&P 500, similar setup on the S&P 500. Again, we can see price found support at the low of 2019. We've had a move to the upside. In terms of percentage rise, we have seen a move of around, over 20%, almost 21% in the month of April. So a strong month so far for the for the bulls. Let's see if there is any bearishness today, or whether this continues to the upside. If we move across to the weekly time frame, price above the 200 moving average, but below the 50 simple moving average and that 3,000 round number. So again, so far it's a bullish week so far, which is a strong week for the bulls. But ultimately, what we want to see is the 50 simple moving average and that 3,000 round number cleared, and then further strength back to the all-time high. Now, if we come down to the daily time frame, price is just below the 200 moving average as well, which is also coupled with the 3,000 round number. So strong area of resistance here. The 200 simple moving average, the 3,000 round number, and the 50 simple moving average. Again, yesterday's price action, we had a gap up and bullishness. So another new high for the month of April, which took price out of this mini area of consolidation. So what we're seeing is a continuation of this bull revival. But standing aside really until we see this strong resistance level ahead cleared. If this holds strong, then price may remain in consolidation or potentially give way to weakness back to the low of March. Okay, moving on to the Nasdaq now, looking very, very interesting on the Nasdaq. This is really leading the way. We can see April bullish month as well, but crucially price is now trading above the high of 2019. This is significant. If we get a close above this level by the end of today, then which will be the end of April, then this could be an early sign of strength back to the all-time high. In terms of percentage move to the upside, we have seen a rise of almost, well, over 21%, so somewhere between 21 and 22% a rise in the month of April. So if we do get a close above the high of 2019, which is this green line, then that will be a strong sign of a continuation to the upside. On the weekly time frame, price above the 200 and the 50 simple moving averages. So again, leading the way in relation to the Dow Jones and the S&P 500, which are both below the 50 simple moving averages on the weekly. This is above the 200 and the 50 simple moving average, and we're seeing new highs as well for the month of April. So a strong sign of a continuation or to the upside. What price is faced with now is that 9,000 round number. We can see that in more detail on the daily. You can see this continuation of the bullish trend, which has created a new high yesterday. Again, we had a gap up and a continuation for the bulls, which created a new high for April above all three moving averages, just faced with that 9,000 round number. So a close above that will suggest a continuation to the all-time high. If we move to the S&P 500 mini, this gives us an indication of pre-market action. We can see that it's a bullish month for the bulls. It's a bullish month for the bulls. It's a bullish month in April. What we're looking for is a close and a continuation towards the high of 2019. Now, interesting times in the weekly time frame. Price above the 200 moving average, but just below the 50 simple moving average and that 3,000 round number. Again, a key area of resistance, and we can see that on the daily time frame as well. We did have a strong day as expected for the bulls. So far today is bearish, but remember, it's the end of day candlestick that gives us the most information. We don't want to get caught up in pre-market action and then intraday movement. It's the end of day candlestick that really gives us the clearest picture, because the institutional money comes in towards the end of the day. So by the end of today, ideally we want to see price break through the 200 moving average on the daily, the 3,000 round number, and the 50 simple moving average, and then that will be a strong sign for a continuation to the all-time high. So positive signs at the moment for a possible continuation, but we do have key resistance levels ahead. If these key resistance levels are cleared, then we could potentially be in a very strong area where the bulls can move back to the all-time high, and we can start considering taking some long positions. Okay, that's me for today. Just a little bit more patience needed on this, guys. Please like, comment and share, and let's get these videos out there. Let's get people understanding how to use these indices correctly to make solid investment portfolios, and I will see you on tomorrow's recording.